Why do stylists charge deposits? Or is it charge, or they make you pay a deposit, right, for services? We talking about that today because I do it. I do it for like my makeup artist, which you guys saw, which is Dawn Ferguson. When I need to book an appointment, I do pay my deposit, which is not bad. But I guess I kind of understand why she charges a deposit and different things like that. But I want to talk about a lot of stylists that are making people pay deposits, and the service is bad. And I think that we need to be careful when we are talking about, making people pay for a deposit. And I've had that happen to me recently. Recently I've had that happen to me. Now where I go at with my stylist, which you guys know, she's been my stylist for so many years, but she doesn't charge a deposit. I think that because she's a celebrity hairstylist, celebrity hairstylist, or a certain arena, she has to charge a deposit. Like the makeup artist, which is my makeup artist, Dawn Ferguson, she's a celebrity makeup artist and hairstylist as well. But I think that they do that because of, they have to travel somewhere, right? And so if I have to travel somewhere and you're paying for whatever, I don't know how they work that out, but you're paying for certain things. Yeah, I can understand them say, oh, let me make sure you pay for half of this, and they get the schedule where you have to pay things out because you need me on set, or you need me at a photo shoot, or you need me for an award show, things like that, or you need me, you're working, you're going on stage. My hairstylist does, one of the people she does is Samore, the comedian. So she goes on tour with her. So I can imagine what they work out, and you understand why they're charging for deposits. But for some, I'm gonna just keep it real. See, you know what I love about this channel is that I feel like the Black Tabitha. Yeah, I don't know if y'all remember, a long time ago they had this show when the Tabitha used to come into the salons. I would love to do that. But she would come into the salons and she would read them from A to Z. Their work ethics, their, the way they conducted business, everything, because she wanted people to have the respect, and she wanted people to, you can't give respect. Clients can't give respect to you just because of your gift. You have to, even if you fall short, like me, I was great at the operations of a salon. I wasn't really great when it came to the business side. So I had to learn those things to get there. I had to fail, right? Well, let me take that back. You don't fail, but I had to learn from the decisions I made. What was the lesson learned in, and then get it right or change that, because that didn't help me the first time. So that's how Tabitha was. She came in, she was like, this is filthy. You're putting this on clients. Look at this. She was going all through the salon. Y'all, when I tell you I was addicted to that show, I was so mad when it went off the air. So I'm like the black one, but I unfortunately, nobody is paying me to go into the salons. But if they did, I would be there. So anyway, a lot of you are making clients pay for deposits, pay the deposit when they book you, and your service is horrible. And we're going to talk about it. You may not like it, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to talk about it. This is what this channel is all about. We got to keep it real, and we have to say what's what. So recently, I had a customer. Well, I didn't have a customer. I had a previous customer of mine. They still call me and talk about their experiences. And she was like, listen, I booked this appointment with this girl for, some hair extensions. And I was like, okay, how did it go? And she said, well, first of all, I had to pay a $150 deposit, right? And I was like, well, how much was the extension? She said the extensions was $300. And then she also had to pay outright the hair extensions. So she's kind of breaking things down to me, what she had to do. And everybody has their own way, their own system of how to pay. And let me tell y'all something. I do respect cosmetologists that's running a business right. But when you're running the business wrong, and I see in the comments, like when I did the video about why are you shampooing your hair and prepping your hair before you go get your hair done, and I'm seeing the comments where they say, and they charge, and we got to pay deposits, and they bill is like, even the bill is even more than it was before you was washing hair. So when you see things like that, you can't help but to talk about it, because that's what's going on. The only way to get things right, you have to call things out, you have to hold people accountable, and you have to say what it is, you know. And I love my beauty world. I love my hairstylists. We have some great, phenomenal, beautiful, and I'm gonna tell y'all about one of the salons. I wish I would have. You know what? I'm going to find it and I'm going to put the name of the salon, but I think they're in New York. And this girl did a quick video on it off of TikTok. And I loved what they did. So anyway, you can't charge somebody a deposit. Let's say you're charging, I'm trying to think for myself. I did a salon, but she was really good. It was certain things I didn't really care for. And it was, I think the deposit was, I had to pay $50. I was getting a relaxer cut. This is when I first cut my hair. Relaxer cut and color, right? Which is a rinse, because you can't put nothing more in my hair when I, because I'm getting a relaxer. And the bill was about $350, which it was fine. That part, because she did an excellent job on my hair. She really did. So I cannot take that from her. And I don't judge people on their pricing, because you probably would have judged me on mine, right? But with her, it was only one thing. Like, the atmosphere was great, the service was great, everything was great. But the only thing I didn't like was that when I came in, I sat for like an hour. When you tell somebody that they're paying a deposit for a certain slot, I'm big on that. The longest that person should be sitting is no more than 5 to 10 minutes, because that person is paying that deposit and they're coming to you for the service, because you're saying, I'm going to be available at this time. And that's a problem for me, because if you are a hairstylist, you want people to understand you, but we are the ones that's giving the service. We are the one that is supposed to be serving. But we still have the mindset where I allowed you to come into my salon and I'm going to show you, I'm going to do my gift and I'm going to do your hair. But we're both blessing each other. And to be honest, the client is blessing you more, because not only is she giving you a chance when she comes through the door, her time is of value. And I think a lot of times that's one of the major things that you hear. That's probably the top number one thing that you hear a lot of clients discusses about. They don't come to the salon anymore because of their time. Their time is of value. They are mothers. They are working women, and they don't want to go in the salon. They're at work 5 days a week, and they don't want to come to the salon and spend a whole nother 8 hours in a salon. It's unfair. So one of the things for me that I did not like, and she is a superb cut and everything, but one of the things I did not like, this happened a while ago, was the fact that I sat for an hour. That should not be, because you're telling me I'm going to pay a deposit. And when somebody is paying a deposit, I'm being honest, they're expecting the carpet to roll out. I'm paying a deposit. So your time is of value, my time is of value, so you must be got something for me when I come there. That's how I'm thinking. I'm just being me, right? So that's the number one. But I have heard clients that have complained. One girl said that she was left under the dryer. The stylist had done went home. She had to call it and come back and open up the salon. I'm like, what? But the girl was like, I had to pay a deposit. At least she did wash her hair, but she had to pay the deposit and stuff. And she was like, for what? She forgot me, right? So if you are demanding a deposit from your clients, and it's nothing wrong with asking for a deposit, make sure the service that you're the money that you're asking for, make sure that the service matches what you're telling the client that they have to do. And so the reason why I'm talking about this, because a lot of cosmetologists or hairstylists, let me just say hairstylists, will book the client, will have the client, and that the client is there. And like I said, they would sit for hours. Now, I was lucky. I came in and I sat there for an hour, and I had things to do. And I lived an hour and 15 minutes away from where this young lady was. So that already I didn't like. But otherwise, her good outweighed the bad. She was on point constantly, communication great. She did the consultation. She understood the assignment. She did not do exactly what I wanted to do, though. She understood the assignment, but she did what she wanted to do, but it still came out nice, so I let it slide. I didn't go back. However, a lot of you will make these clients pay for a deposit, and you're not even there. You schedule these appointments, and you're 30 minutes late. You're an hour late. You're calling them last minute, saying to the client, hey, I'm going to have to push you back because I got a client here. Or you got your friend that just coming in there or coming through that you're good with. And so you telling the client that's sitting there that has booked an appointment, that has made the deposit, you're telling them, oh, they got to wait a little long because I got to take her in. So I've seen that. I've experienced that for myself, and it's wrong. So why are you asking for a deposit like you're going to get impeccable service when you're not? It's just another thing to say, let me make sure I lock that money in, and I need that money. You need the money, right? Because you're going to spend that money. A lot of times when they're asking for deposits, and there's nothing wrong with it, they're going to spend the money. So then if something happens, you shouldn't do this. If something happens, instead of you saying, hey, I had an emergency go on, I will not be able to be here this day, maybe a death in the family or something like that, you're able to say, I'll refund you your money and you can reschedule. You give them the option, or they can say, hey, can I just reschedule? And then you keep the deposit there. That's the right way to do. But a lot of you will let the person pay the deposit, get all the way to that point, probably don't even check who you have scheduled, and then you look thinking you don't have nobody on the books, and you have people on the books because they have systems set up when they're booking an appointment. They're showing you where it is, but for whatever reason, you may not have an assistant because you may want the money all for yourself, or maybe you just can't afford an assistant right now, but it doesn't make sense because you're booking and how you're setting up. But let's say you're not able to hire an assistant. So you may overlook that person, or you may have brought another person in on that time, or you may have scheduled 5 people on that one slot. So if it's 9:30 in the morning, you got 5 people scheduled for 9:30. It's unfair and it's wrong. So the reason why I'm saying you shouldn't charge a deposit when it's something, when you know how you're doing business and it's not right? And I'm just talking about the time, right? So if I'm a customer and I come in there and I see 5 girls and I'm like, who you here for? Who you here for? And they all say you, and what's your appointment? And they all tell me the same time. Guess what? I should be able to say, hey, I can't do that. I have to leave because I have to be at another place within 4 hours. And based on how you got this set up, I'm going to be here longer than that. So I'm going to go ahead and leave, and I would like my refund. You guys have now where the deposits, I don't know how long it's been going on. You have it where the deposit is non-refundable. That's not the client's fault. So why is the client being mishandled or suffering the consequences of your actions? So that's why I say we have to be careful with a deposit. Now, I did deposits when I did hair extensions, or I had to do a hair replacement service, because now I got to come in at a certain time in the morning, maybe 3, 4 a.m. in the morning, because you know what I mean? I got to set aside some time or whatnot. That's my thing. Or I got to order the hair prosthesis. So if I have to order the hair prosthesis, guess what? I have to get that deposit. Those things make sense. But the everyday cosmetologist or a hairstylist today, some of the stuff I'm like, that's horrible. I can't even take up for you. So that's the number one thing. If you're booking 5 and 10 people, and I've seen it, and you made them pay the deposit for something like a relaxer or even a quick weave, even you should not even be booking all these people at one slot for a sew-in. I don't care how fast you are. No one wants to come up there and sit and wait and watch you doing other people's hair and watch people coming in and out the door. Their time is of value. Do y'all know that time is worth more than money? If we understood that concept, would we put people in that position? So in that case, I believe if you're going to charge a deposit, that client should be able to come to you and say, hey, this is not working for me. I got to be somewhere in 4 hours. It's not working. Hey, I'm requesting my refund. And they shouldn't get any attitude or anything. You should refund it to them. All right? So that's one thing. The second thing is that I've seen it where You may not have all of your tools that you need. Maybe this person has scheduled, like that young lady I went to. I said, I want color, I want a black, I want this, I want that, because I know my grade's going to show, whatever. She had it. Sometimes y'all don't even have it. I have seen, and y'all ready for it, I have seen hairstylists that didn't have a rinse, and they just put a relaxer in the hair, and they will put a permanent color and just run it through real fast. I've seen things like that happen. Instead of saying, hey, I don't have it, I don't want to put your hair in jeopardy, or sending someone to go get the color, because it's nothing. It's always, where salons is, you have beauty supply stores. Instead of sending someone, you're not ready, you're not prepared. So now you have people paying a deposit for a service that you can't offer. The person has said, hey, I'm doing a service, I want some highlights in my hair extensions. And when they get there, they have paid their deposit, they have paid for their hair, and when they get there, you're over there now just putting highlights in the hair. You're just servicing that customer. No. Because if you had let them pay the deposit, schedule the consultation, let them stop by after work or however you do it, and you talk to them, or even by phone, sending pictures or whatever so you can figure out the color. If you had did that beforehand, when that customer comes in, the installments are laying there in order, the needles are threaded, let's rock and roll. That's what I'm paying a deposit for. But if I pay a deposit and I got to come sit there amongst the other people that you have booked, and then you like, oh, you getting a weave, and then you got to go to the back and see if you even have my hair, and then call and then say, okay, I'm gonna do this to you, and then while you're doing that, I'm gonna color your hair. I have a problem with that, because I paid in advance for a first class service that I'm not getting. You're not doing the client a favor. This is the first thing I want to say. As hairstylist, cosmetologist, whatever you want to call yourself, natural hairstylist, whatever, you're not doing the client the favor. The client is doing you the favor. The client is driving past hundreds of hair salons. They're leaving the kitchen salons, right? Or even if they go into the kitchen hairstylist, they're passing all these other kitchen hairstylists, and they're coming to you. Not just because you're a gift, but they're coming to you hoping that you're going to execute on the gift, because they've seen somebody here and they love it. So they're going to come to you just on a chance, and they have to pray that you have the right attitude, that they can get the full service that they need. Washing the hair, greeting the customer, offering them some beverages or refreshments, doing the consultation if they weren't able to come in before, making sure you dot your I's, you looking down, you say, hey, we've already spoken, this is the service you're getting, this is the amount you're paying for. Perfect. They're not getting that. Why are they paying a deposit? There's no red carpet rolled out. They're paying a deposit like you some celeb, like you Chris Brown. They can go in the back and they can take photos with you. No, ma'am. The clients are what's feeding your children. The clients is what's putting food on your table. The clients are the ones that are making your name a household name. So one of the things that I have to say, if you have a horrible attitude, you probably should not be in business. A lot of us hairstylists are in business, but we have no people skills. We don't want to talk to the customers. We don't want to do that. Just come in here, everybody getting the same hairdo. No. So if you have that mindset and you refuse to change, you're going to get a household name, but the household name will be either good or it'll be bad. So just like I say to people, when they take chances with their hair and they make short-term decisions that would affect them in the long run, that's the same thing with this hairstylist. You're going to make a decision because you're greedy for money, and you're going to make bad decisions, give them bad service, have a bad attitude, don't want to refund. You asking for deposits like you rolling out red carpets because you want to make sure that money is locked in, and that they make sure that they make their appointment. And then you have the audacity to say you was 15 minutes late, so it's more money. Are you kidding me? I'm sitting here. Why? So this is my thing to you. why not, if that's the case, let's say you say, I don't care what she say, I'm still charge a deposit. So why don't, if the customer come in there and why don't you do like Pizza Hut when they say, if they not there at a certain time, then the pizza's free? I won't go that far. But why don't we say, if you come in the door and you sit longer than 15 minutes, I'm going to refund you back that deposit. Or that deposit, I'm going to either refund you back that deposit, or I'm going to take off a certain percentage of your service because I inconvenience you and I understand how much your time is. You know, that has happened to me. I have had where I'm trying to think what happened because it doesn't happen a lot. But let's say I did a color, right? Then I'm just thinking of that. And the customer was like, Lee, for whatever reason, I did not do the consultation and put it on her back to see if she was allergic. And she said, Lee, my hair was really itchy and it felt dry and everything. I'm going to be like, come back in. What's a good time for you to come back in? They're going to schedule. Now they thinking like, oh God, now I got to come back in. I got to pay more money. No. I did that. I hold myself accountable. Come in, I service the customer. I look at the hair. I analyze the hair. I apologize. I wash the hair. I get the pH balance where it needs to be. I do the service and I tell them, hey, thank you for letting me fix that. I really appreciate your business. I'm so sorry that I inconvenienced you like that. The customers used to be like shocked. That's why I had a good clientele, because the quality, the quantity, and the quality is what mattered. The money will come. But a lot of us today's stylists say, I'm gonna charge this. Oh, that's such as that girl is a doctor. I'm gonna charge her this. You should not be doing that. I can talk about this forever in a day when it comes to why are y'all charging people for deposits? Like you when they get that time with you, you're gonna roll out the red carpet, when in actuality they dealing with more foolishness and they tired. I'm speaking for the clients. I'm a client too. I'm not just a licensed cosmetologist. Ask a licensed cosmetologist, Coach Lee Hill. I am a customer. So anything that is when it comes to the public, I'm kind of really, I don't like it, because you know why? Because if I have to give that type of service, that's what I'm expecting. I treat people how I want to be treated. If an older woman comes in my door or a sickly person comes to the door and they come to get my service, guess what I do? I roll out the red carpet. That's my mother. That could be my mom. If an older man comes in my salon and he says, when I had my salon, and he says, hey, I need a haircut, I roll out the red carpet. He said, I want to come to Lee. But we don't think like that. We size people up. We look at who they are. If they don't look like they have much and they coming to you, you sizing them up on that. Oh, the income tax customers, you sizing them up on that. And based on all of that, that's how you treat your money, your clients, your business. And guess what? We got a lot of thousands of cosmetologists, of hairstylists that go out of business. Not because they say, oh, the people won't service you, they don't want to pay. No, you're right. They don't want to pay you. I don't want to pay you. If that is the service that I'm getting on a daily basis, if that's the offer that you offering me and you're asking me to pay the money, we ain't even getting into the prices of things. We ain't even getting into that. That's a whole nother topic. But we can even talk about, and I will do that. But we're not even talking about that. We talking about just the beginning of everything. You haven't offered me consultation. You haven't respected my time. You got everybody booked at the same time. You got a bad attitude. All these things. And then I got to turn around and I got to make sure I lock in with the deposit that is non-refundable. And I got to deal with all the stuff I just named. Honey, no, I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. And so I wanted to talk about this, and I know y'all got some stories, clients. I know y'all got some stories about these hairstylists and how they do things. I don't know about so much because Like the lady told me, the cosmetologist said, I want to believe she's a hairstylist, and one of the comments, she said, we're not responsible for hygiene. What? So you'll work on dirty hair? You'll work on dirty hair? You okay with working on dirty hair? And we were talking about that with the Salon Talk, y'all. Please make sure y'all check out Salon Talk. It's coming out. We're coming this Sunday. I'll let you know, guys know. It most likely going to be in the evening time around 5 and 6, but I'll put it out there. I'll post it on the channel. So we got Salon Talk, where Dawn Ferguson, which is a celebrity makeup artist and hairstylist, and I, Coach Lee Hill, we will be talking about these different things, and you guys can be able to chime in on it and be like, man, I believe it's going to be between 5 and 6, but I'll let you guys know on the next, I'll let you guys know on the post. So I get very passionate about this because a lot of times we have destroyed, we talk about, what people have not done, but we have destroyed it. We don't talk about the things that we have done to get to that place where people just say, I'm tired. I have to pay you to disrespect me in ways I don't even, I'm working for a company, a Fortune 5 company, and I get more respect from them than my own hairstylist. My hairstylist is literally a celebrity hairstylist. Dawn is literally a celebrity hairstylist. So they dealing with people with money. They dealing with people who are on the scenes. I'm talking about now. And if y'all watch the interview that we did on Friday night about, I did the interview on Dawn Ferguson. If y'all do the interview, that lady was so humble. And she does charge a deposit. But I can't tell you one time she has ever been late. I can tell you she be extra early. So if I'm on set, because I did the movie Trap set, if I'm saying, hey, Dawn, I need you there at 9, I be pulling up and she be like, I'm right behind you. I'm there at 8:30. I love it. Oh, take my money. But you can't take my money if you telling me a time and you showing up, you on the phone. This thing they do. Y'all know what they do. Come on. Yeah. And you're on the phone and you twin through you don't know what I need. You didn't say, hey, you got any scalp issues? Hey, let me examine your scalp real quick. Hey, let me get off the phone with you because this lady paid the deposit, or this young man, they paid the deposit, and I got to give them my what's the word, y'all? Undivided attention. I got to be focused and make sure that they feel like they really had the experience with me as a cosmetologist. So this is my thing. I don't see anything wrong with paying a deposit. But if your service is bad and you know you're raggedy, you got a bad attitude, the salon is not clean, you're not prepped and ready for the service that person has paid the deposit for, the extensions are not ready, the extensions are not colored. If you are that stylist, you can get mad if you want to. You can come on here, you can say what you want to say, but at the end of the day, you know that you're wrong for what you're doing. We have to step up our game if we want to be respected in this, if we want to be respected in this. And I want to finish with this. So it was a salon in New York. This young lady, I think she was traveling from Texas. She was a pretty black girl. And she was like, I'm traveling, I'm going over. She flew, she jumped on the plane, she paid her deposit, she paid her money for her hair extensions. She gets there, they servicing her immediately. They got the drinks for her, they done fed her, they massaged her, they washed her and massaged her, they rolled out the red carpet for her. And I wish I could post the video here, but I can't. And I am going to put the name of the salon because I was like, they had on point. They were African hairstylists. They were doing natural hair. They were doing braids. And they had the hair ready. And she said, I went with this color. They had their hair ready. And they was just going through it. They was working her hair fast, right? So from the time she walked through the door, she didn't have to sit and wait. She was just rolling with the punches. She said, I was just amazed. And then afterwards, after they did her hair, she looked at everything that she asked for and that she paid for. They did it. And listen, the salon was full. The salon was full. Every hairstyle, they was working. It was beautiful. It was clean in there. They had everything in order. You see the hair laid out and everything. If you're not offering that kind of service, what we doing? What we talking about? Don't come on here and don't come on and try to hold other people accountable or blame other people or give excuses. Don't get into the business unless you're ready to show up, unless you're ready to show out, unless you're really ready to take your name to the next level, unless you're really ready to build a clientele that's solid. I got clients from 20 years that still call me. We are friends. That relationship went from just the customer to my friends. And separate the two. We cool, but you better pay the bill because I'm giving you everything I got. If you are not that kind of hairstylist, it's okay. You haven't been, but you got a chance to change it. You got a chance to make a good impact, a positive impact, because guess what? There are other young ladies that are coming into your salon or coming into your home and they looking at how you move and that inspires them. My hairstylist, Tony Anthony, she inspired me. Jackie Head of Times in Miami, Florida, when I came in there, they was decked to the nines. All right. And the service was impeccable. If you're not doing that kind of move like that, what you doing here? Step off the scene and give somebody a chance that loves what they do, that are passionate what they do, that respect what they do, and want to inspire others and be right. And y'all know what salons I'm talking to us. Because I have been in $1 million salons. They don't do that. I have serviced John Maxwell's wife. I have serviced people that are in the court system that are high end that you wouldn't even, I have serviced them. And them people coming at, they don't even come in there even thinking that they would experience a service like a lot of y'all are giving your people. And I got to pay a deposit. Them people dropping off deposits $1,000 and getting tape hair extensions. When they finish, the lady says, "Oh, $3,500," and nobody flinches. You know why? Y'all be like, "Oh, I'm not paying $3,500," but they will because they got pampered. They came into their world where they were able to escape all of the madness, all of the pressures of life, and when they came into those salons. And I was the only one that looked like me in there. When they came in those salons, they ain't worried about that. You're willing to pay. You're willing to pay. And they say, and guess what? And when you do good service, somebody tells somebody, somebody tells somebody, and before you know it, you rocking and rolling. But if you're not ready to do the task, stop asking for, if your service don't meet the money that you're asking for, stop it. Just walk away, go get a 9-to-5, and leave these people alone. Stop wasting their time. I pray that this video helps you guys. Don't forget, Salon Talk is going to be on Sundays. Sundays, I believe it's going to be between 5 and 6, but I'm going to post it. I'm also going to post the name of that salon that I was talking to you guys about. Absolutely love. Maybe you can find it on TikTok and watch it. It was beautiful, beautiful service, everything. And then also for you cosmetologists that are coming in, inspiring, or maybe you're already in the industry and you just don't know where your niche is or where you should go. My book of oh God, y'all. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm forgetting this. The Guide to Becoming a Successful Black Cosmetologist. It's going to give you different ideas. It's going to show you how you need to start off, your mindset, and all those different things, how your service should be. I'm going to put that link in there so you can look and purchase that book as well. All right. I will see you guys next video. I pray you love this book. I pray you love this video. Don't forget to like, share. Please share. And also comment. Please comment. I would love to hear your story as well. Bye.